Hey, Soul Tribe, it's the Joy Healer, Kathy Weiss. I use my gifts as an intuitive, clairvoyant, and source energy channel to help people like you find deep fulfillment and lasting freedom at the level of your soul, which is joy. And this is your intuitive, clairvoyant energy reading for the week of June 28th through July 4th, 2020. Although, of course, if you happen to stumble across this video at any other time, it just means that there is some goodness and some information and some wisdom in here that you need to hear. So even if it isn't the week of June 28th when you're watching or listening, stick with it because there's always something to be heard or discovered in the messages and readings. Today we're going to start real quick with which crystals that I brought with me into the reading today for some energy for you. Then we'll have a brief energy healing and some messages for the week and an oracle card and all kinds of good stuff. So Amethyst has come back with us again this week. And I know the light that I use gives it that little groovy circle, but just know that's not part of it. Amethyst is a really great stone or crystal for protection. It helps to bring tranquility. It helps overcome addictions. And, there are so many types of addictions, not just what we would think like alcohol or drugs or gambling. We've got social media addiction and shopping, all kinds of different things, even just like relational addictions. So if you're struggling with any of those types of things, this can be a great crystal for you this week. And it also is really fabulous for soothing and calming the nervous system. So if you've got some, keep it around. You can also wear shades of amethyst purple to support and bring that energy into your life. Also, this week I was feeling really drawn towards opal. So I've got opals here and my opal ring. And when I was kind of just double checking and reminding myself of the properties of opal, one of the things that it can help you do is to dissipate or release anger. And that's going to be key when we get into the energy reading in just a second. But I always love to start now with some energy healing and sending some good, loving juju your way that can just kind of like give you a little bit of a boost and help you optimize your week. So if you'd like to receive, all you have to do is have your hands open either towards the camera or on your lap or by the sides of your body. And if you're not interested in that or you just kind of want to observe and not participate, hands down on your chest or your lap, or you can make soft, gentle fists, and that'll be enough for this type of energy healing to close you off. And I'm going to be using the primary colors of the amethyst and then maybe a little bit of the opal to today. So just take a moment to become receptive if you're choosing to be receptive. And oh, guys, the moment I even like opened my hands, I could feel divine white light pouring in through the crown of my head, and that's going to flow out to you. And so if you allow yourself to receive, it's going to come because energy is not limited by time, space, or technology. And we're starting today with a light that is primarily white. I love this white because it's so pure and so universal. And there is in the very center of it some of the amethyst purple. And when I try to bring in some of those opalescent blues and greens, it's like being blocked is the best way I can describe it. So I get a strong sense that what is going to serve those of you who are receiving today is mostly the pure divine white light with a tiny bit of the amethyst today. Just another moment. I feel like we could use just a tiny bit more today. Okay, we're complete. Groovy. Welcome back. So here's what's going on in the energy. This is going to be a little bit of a carryover from last week. So if you haven't watched last week's video yet, you can go back and check it out. Because last week we were talking about how the energy for the collective, for most of us, is slowing down. Now, that doesn't mean you don't have a whole bunch of things to do and it feels like you're running around like a crazy person trying to get your stuff done. No, but still things are moving slow. So let's say, for example, you needed to go take your car to like get new tires, and instead of it taking a half an hour, it takes an hour and a half. Or you're trying to respond to an email and you keep getting interrupted. So it's taking like 30 minutes instead of five. Or, like you're trying to do laundry and the power goes out. It's those kinds of things. So hear that when things are moving slow, it doesn't mean you don't have a lot to do. It just means that things are going to take longer and potentially slower. And that can lead to what I can feel building in this week's energy, which is the rising pressure of some frustration. And it's sort of like bubbling up, kind of not even at our throats yet collectively. Maybe it will during the week start to rise higher, because I feel like by the end of this week, somewhere around July 4th or 5th, that we're going to sort of like all want to just kind of lose our shit. You know what I mean? So the guidance this week is twofold. And the first is that about 2 nights ago, when I was getting ready to go to bed, I heard this phrase that I am like completely obsessed with. And it's this: it's the limbo of uncertainty that drives us mad. I love that sentence so much. I want to say it again to you guys, okay? It is the limbo of uncertainty that drives us mad. Should I stay or should I go? What will happen if I go with option A? What will happen if I go with option B? Is this thing ever going to end? Is this thing never going to end? When is this thing going to end? When is this thing going to start? Is that person going to do the thing or not do the thing? Oh, and so the uncertainty of life, when we sit in it and get stuck in it, it drives us crazy. And there is some of that type of energy contributing to the rising frustration, along with the fact that life is moving slow energetically right now in a natural rhythm sort of way. So, your guidance with those messages is to really, number one, honor yourself when you feel your frustration rising. And before it can explode into destructive anger, can you either transmute it into righteous anger and forward action, or can you dissipate it? And it depends on what type of frustration it is, right? If it's just the sort of like, you know what, life is fine. There's nothing really wrong going on with my life. It's just all the little, it's like, the power outage and I couldn't get the email sent and that it's making me feel frustrated, but there's really nothing wrong. That's the kind of frustration we invite you to dissipate. And when I say we, it's because I'm starting to channel the collective guides of Source, and they're moving through me now really strongly. And so they're saying, like, if life is fine, it's just all the little nitpicky things, and it's kind of dissipate. And we will give you examples of how to dissipate if you need them. The other is there's actually really something wrong. There's something that needs to be addressed in my life, in a relationship, in the world, whatever it is. And that's making me frustrated and feel angry. That is righteous anger that needs to be taken forward into healthy resolution. Okay, so more of what's happening this week for more of us. And remember, there's macro, there's all of us collective in the world, and then there's micro, individual. So while your individual micro details may differ, for the vast majority in the collective, we're going to experience the first kind of frustration this coming week of that, oh, it's just all the little things, brr, kind of making us cuckoo. So you're being invited to dissipate your anger or your frustration. It's more frustration than anger this week. To dissipate it, to go for a long walk or a hike or a run if that blows the steam off for you, or to pull out your paints and pens and pencils and creative arts if that's how you express the frustration, or to sit down and have a sincere conversation with someone you trust, where what you can say is, there's nothing wrong, really. I am just frustrated. And by expressing the little things that have added up to create this frustration, I am digesting it and relieving my system of it. And you can approach it that way and not like, oh, I'm going to dump all my crap on you and expect you to solve it or whatever it is. But it's really one of the ways that human beings resolve their emotions is through conversation. It helps us digest. And so that might be a way for some of us to really dissipate the frustration that's rising this week. But that is absolutely the main um, guidance and wisdom, is that is just dissipate your frustration. And if you need help or you don't know how or you need deeper guidance, oh my gosh, Soul Tribe, please reach out to me. I'm like sort of almost like chomping at the bit to deliver more personalized messages with one-on-one sessions and readings to help you through this week. So if you feel like you need a little bit more, or the following week too, because I don't have that much space in my schedule, but I have some for you. So definitely reach out if you would like some support and some guidance and some wisdom and some love to help with any of your frustrations, or if you need to decipher if it's frustration number one or frustration, righteous anger number two, and what action you need to take. Like, that's my jam, is helping people untangle that and recalibrate and realign to their joy. So I'm right here for you at thejoyhealer.com if you want to do that. Okay, lastly, we're going to pull an oracle card to support the messages for this week. This is a deck called Flowers of the Night Oracle, and I was just peeking down. The name of the author is Sherilyn Darcy. If you love this deck, and I am not an affiliate or anything like that, this is just a deck that I picked up in Australia that I love, and so I'm sharing it with you. And I selected this deck just because as I was pondering the messages and the energy, it just loud and clear popped into my mind. Use Flowers of the Night. So, oh, when I'm shuffling, see how the cards right there are stuck out? That is like massive. Oh, and there's 3 of them today, guys. What? Let's put all 3 together and tell a little story. We have passion, and we have challenge. Ooh, there we go. Challenge. And we have hope. I love the order that those came out too, right? Because what I'm hearing is like, y'all all are super passionate about things in life and what you're pursuing and all of the goodness that you have to offer the world. But guess right now in the slow moving energy, we're all bumping up against a whole buttload of challenge. I wanted to use the F-bomb, but I didn't warn you guys. So just like in your mind, you can hear that. And then lastly, hope. And so this little mini card spread that magically came out of the deck is just reminding you that even in challenge and even in energetic slowdown and even in frustration, your passion matters. And it might feel like you want to give up or you want to say, screw it, I am done with this. But remember that the energy is always temporary. Things are always shifting and things are always moving and changing. And just because the energy is slow for 2 weeks, or I feel like it's going to be like 3 or 4, that's not a very long time and it's not forever. And so to stay positively focused on knowing that the energy will shift, your feelings will rise, and you too will get back into your own natural rhythm, into alignment with your joy, which is your birthright, and things will feel like they are picking up speed again. Almost like I can almost hear like in a movie or something where it had been slow motion, then it goes, and then things go back to normal speed. That is going to happen. Like I said, from here, probably in about 2 weeks, 3 at the outset. So know that it's all good. Know that you're okay. And again, a little reminder and a little bit of extra energy is coming through. Know that your biggest task for this week, June 28th to July 4th, is to be aware when you have rising frustration and to find a healthy and productive way to dissipate that frustration. These messages are complete. We love you so much. The collective guides of Source are right here with me today. I feel like very much surrounded and held. So there's a lot of beautiful wisdom and energy in today's messages. And they say, we love you so much. We are here with you, and we will return with more messages again soon. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Remember, you can find more information and connect with me at thejoyhealer.com or at thejoyhealer on all the socials. And I'm new to TikTok, so hey, maybe give me a little bit of love and support over there on TikTok at thejoyhealer. Mwah! You guys are fabulous. I will see you again soon. Namaste. Bye.